I am screaming ho, ho, ho.
Alexis Sunshine 83, it's always sunny here. Boop.
Hey Sunshiners, Alexis Sunshine 83 right here. So I don't even know how to start this video because, okay, apparently the biggest fall 2025 trend is 2009 fall fashion. Yes, 2009, and I'm gonna group it from like 2008 to 2010. So think Elena Gilbert from Vampire Diaries, Bella Swan from Twilight. I also saw Aria from Pretty Little Liars kind of grouped into this, and Pretty Little Liars fashion. As we all know, I was not wearing this type of style in 2009. I was deep into my scene kid wannabe fashion, but I do remember this style. It's very simple, very muted, not that many patterns, if anything, maybe some stripes, and those are kind of the big like trends of this 2009 fall fashion trend. Nostalgia fashion as a trend during the time that isn't of when that trend was. So like in 2020, Y2K was really big. Also 2014, 2016, 90s fashion is really big. So like this isn't anything new, and it was inevitable that the 2010s, late 2000s was going to pop up as a like mainstream new trend. Even Hollister came out with a new line specifically kind of encapsulating this type of style, but more in a like pastel kind of preppy way, which I do feel 2009 fall fashion trend that is being shown is kind of preppy, but again, more like deeper, darker tones. And so in saying all of that, I needed to give context before we actually go in and try to thrift it. I actually said in a video, it was like an unpopular or propaganda I'm not falling for or something, somebody had mentioned the Hollister like 2000s collection, and I had said in that video like, oh, thumbs down, like just thrift that type of style, which I was very much humbled when I looked on Depop to see what these original items, vintage I guess, would be to get secondhand, and they're like $80 to $150, which Hollister is quite pricey, especially was pricey back then. So like the pricing isn't too insane, but also it's super simple. It's not that crazy of an item. It's just like a plain item, but the style, and again with now 2009 fall fashion trending, those prices are going up. So I wanted to see if I could try to find these at the thrift store. Not specifically being Hollister, like that would be super cool to find like vintage Hollister Abercrombie, which 2009 technically isn't vintage, it would need to be 20 years, but in that range. I do like this style. I don't think it's super me. Like I think it's kind of a base that I would then work off of. So I don't know what I will actually end up buying, but it's more what can we find. Now I did already film this entire video last week, and unfortunately the 2.5 hours of footage I filmed, the try on in the thrift store, everything, my microphone was turned off, so there was no audio. So I am refilming this. I'm at a different thrift store. That one I would say was like kind of successful. Like I did find some stuff that was part of the trend, but I would like to find maybe like some more that's a little bit more like accurate. I found like similar, but not as similar as I had hoped, which actually may show that it isn't necessarily like super possible, but I still believe, especially that this trend is from the past, and so people have donated it, and so like getting secondhand versus new versions, like it makes sense. Okay, finally, let's now head in and see if we can find it here. I'm starting out in the jackets, which the jacket trend at the time was a lot more fitted, and these examples that I've already shown, which is very different than what I wear. I also would say these like built-in hoodies are super big. I want to see if I can find like corduroy or even pea coats. I feel pea coats and kind of a more like twee style jacket was quite big. Denim jackets as well, which I feel like has stuck with me since then. Oh, I would just love to find these like fake fur trim Abercrombie jackets. I remember I had one. I like asked for it for Christmas from my dad. I think I made even like a Google sheet of like the listings or like photos from the website. I also, okay, super random, I was then coming across TikToks of people being like, oh, to be like a teen during 2009 and showing the Hollister website, and like honestly stuff was so whimsical. John was watching the second Halloween Town this morning, and it made me think with that movie, the whole idea is like Halloween Town is turning gray, and obviously there's more plot points, but how it's turning gray and the contrast of Halloween Town and like the aesthetic being so whimsical. Like, how did we millennials see that and then think, oh, millennial gray is what I'm gonna make my entire home and my style and all that? It's like, no, we should have learned to reject it. Not that there's anything wrong with gray, obviously, but it was just really interesting watching it and being like, wait, how did we get from there to then the millennial gray trend and like the desaturation, especially on like Instagram, and thinking that was aesthetic. And now Gen Z and like some other millennials are like, no, the whimsical maximalist, like we're reclaiming it. And also just the maximalism of the 2000s, unrelated, well, I guess related as well. You have a whole corduroy jacket. I feel like this could be part of it, but not something I'm into. Oh yeah, I feel like this totally is part of that 2009 trend. I may just put it in my cart. I like the pattern of this. I don't like that it doesn't have a collar. I'm personally just not a fan of collarless jackets. Again, not part of the trend, but I do like the pattern. Okay, potentially this. If it was made better, then I probably would at least try it on, but it's really, really thin. Okay, this, oh my God, Abercrombie. I don't know. I don't think this is vintage, but Abercrombie. These knit sweaters with a zipper was so trendy back then. So definitely will be trying that on, which if you've seen my red flags video, like fashion red flags, a knit with a zipper is like my biggest pet peeve. And I feel like it's because of that time. I feel like these types of jackets didn't really start to trend until like 2014. So I'm gonna leave that. This is so freaking fun. It's kind of like velvet as well. Never seen that brand before. A little bit too colorful for, I think, this trend, but very cool. Ooh, this type of striped sweater, maybe. I do feel like it wasn't necessarily black and white. It was more like navy and white, so we'll leave that for now. Potentially this, if the hood was a little bit fuzzier, I think it would work a little bit more. I'm now in the long sleeves. Next we'll go over to the sweaters, but I feel like if I can find a muted long sleeve or something, okay, not related, but very cute, but like a muted green or purple long sleeve, even something like this, I feel like would have been kind of part of the style. Also tunics and even these like baby doll style tops, I'm actually looking for myself. Oh, this is a really nice Gap dark green cardigan, but you could have it fully buttoned, and I think that definitely gives the look. Again, it's pretty simple, which again is why I do want to try to find it secondhand, because it is so simple that it feels like it would be easy. Okay, like something like this is originally from No Boundaries. I do wish I'm pretty sure it's 100% polyester. If it was like cotton and kind of the Hollister quality, I think it would be perfect. Oh, okay, we did find some Hollister. When I was originally filming this video, I talked about how I never really pay attention to Hollister, even American Eagle and Abercrombie tags, because that's not really the type of fashion I'm looking for. So I was kind of like, oh, when was the last time I found something originally from Hollister? And I couldn't think of it. And when I filmed that video, I think I found one thing that was actually from Hollister. So it's, I mean, it could have just been the thrift store I went to, but I'm having a way better time at this specific Savers with finding Abercrombie and also Hollister. But it could just, again, be the location. I find a lot of Brandy Melville here, so it would make sense that like Hollister, Brandy Melville, very similar styles. Okay, this I think and maybe a little bit too preppy. Like Bella Swan, no, she would not be wearing this. This style is being deemed as like a really like good trend because it is to an extent accessible because it is so simple. Like there's nothing about it that's offensive. You know what I mean? Like the colors, the patterns, they're pretty like, not meh. I don't want to say meh because it's not meh, but it's pretty like neutral. So it's actually kind of nice in a way that it isn't as like super micro trendy, because like how are you going to say a plain green sweater is a micro trend, you know? So there is kind of a positive within it, I guess. This I do think is a little bit too pastel for what I'm looking for, but I am seeing a lot of stripes, just a lot of very colorful stripe pieces. Something like this I think could work. It has then like a lace paneling on the arms, which does feel very of the time. Ooh, something like this actually, originally from Roxy. What's also interesting about this type of trend and 2009 fashion trends in general is a lot of them take a lot of the early 2000s like Hollister style, think Laguna Beach, and just make it muted colors. Like this feels like something someone would have worn on Laguna Beach, but for 2009 it would have been like a dark green or like a dark purple. Ooh, we found some Hollister. I feel like this tie-up was definitely more 2014. It is so interesting though to like be living trends that you wore or that were big when you were a teenager and seeing then teenagers today or like even older, like 20s, being like, oh my god, this is so cute and like this is the best thing ever. And I actually, okay, sorry, this is a really cool sweater, a little bit too pink, but very cute. I actually think it's cool. Like I know when I was really into I'm still into 90s fashion obviously, but like when I really like kind of started in 2018, I want to say, I used to get comments all the time from people being like, oh my gosh, I used to wear that when I was in high school, like that's crazy, the trends are back. And I still get those comments, especially now that I've been getting into early 2000 style as well. And I think it's great. Like I think it's awesome that like, especially for me, all of it is secondhand. So like I'm getting these pieces that have been worn before and like getting inspiration from that, and then blending also to an extent some modern elements. Like I think it's all just very fun. Although when I was at the thrift store the other day, there was a group of some teenage girls, they probably were like 15, and they were going through the jeans section, and I think there was like 4 of them, and one of them was like, oh, like I'm so sick of high-rise jeans, like why are these all high-rise jeans? And another one was like, would you rather wear high-rise jeans or skinny jeans? And without even a beat, they all in unison screamed skinny jeans. I know people have been like, skinny jeans aren't gonna come back, like they aren't gonna be a thing, but like high-rise is now considered what skinny jeans were to us, which is also very fascinating, especially because when I was in high school or even in elementary school, I remember going shopping with my mom at JCPenney's and trying on jeans, and she picked up like a pair of high-rise jeans and she was like, oh, like you should try these on. And I was like, ew, that's disgusting, Mom. Only grandmas wear high-rise jeans. Yeah, just kind of watching my own journey within high-rise jeans. Like anything under a 12-inch rise was like an absolute no. And now I'm kind of reverting back where I have more of a mix of high-rise, mid-rise, and low-rise jeans. Yeah, just very fascinating. Oh, I love this color. It's just a little, like, has some stains on it, but love this color. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty. Originally from Dress Barn. Okay, unrelated because it does have little sequins on it, which I do not think is part of 2009 fall fashion, but I personally need to try it on. Another really big, like, fashion red flag. I wouldn't say it's actually, it's kind of turning into, it depends on the item. When it comes to a V-neck necklines were everywhere in 2009, and this particular trend that's being deemed as 2009 fall fashion trends, it's like all V-necks. And so I'm also mentally trying to like rewire my brain of like, no, we want it to be a v-neck, especially with layering. That's something I totally forgot. I really want to do is go into the tank tops and try to find these like lace camis so I can layer it under any v-necks I find. This is so cute. These big buttons, I feel like, are being deemed part of this. I think it's an off the shoulder. It's basically like a dress. Oh, if it wasn't an off the shoulder, it could be a cowl neck, which I'm not a fan of. No, that looks weird. I don't know. It's kind of a weird construction, but knit tunics. Almost kind of like a dress being worn with bootcut jeans. Yeah, if I could find that, that would be awesome. Another knit with a zipper. This one is originally from Rubbish. Never seen this brand before. I feel like when you start getting into the mid 2000s and late 2000s, every tag, like no tag is gonna have a paper tag, because that was really more in the 90s of brands doing and the way that they manufactured kind of later on, and obviously fast fashion and all that. So I wonder how people will even tell when 2009 becomes vintage, like how they'll be able to tell. I guess the brand and obviously looking up the style and that type of thing. Very interesting to think about. I'm in the tops hoping to find some sort of tunic. I found this top though. I don't know where it's original, or it's from Better Page. I don't think it is vintage. If it was though, I think this is so fun. There's a little tie that I think you like put across your arm like that or something, but it's on the other side. And I love that asymmetrical of it. It feels very 90s, but the material does feel like bathing suit material. It's not the like nice vintage polyester. But I am, okay, wait, this is kind of what I was talking about. It does have that cowl neck again, but the sweater dress tunic. Okay, I have to try that on. I am wearing overalls, so not the best outfit to be wearing to try stuff on, but we can all use our imagination. This feels so 2010s. Stop it. Oh my gosh. Like, I worked at Forever 21 in 2013 and I 100% would have worn this. I'm just putting it in there. I feel like could be considered 2000. No, it's not. It's not considered 2009. No. This is way too floral girly for what I'm looking for today. I'll leave it. I'm not really finding any tank tops. Like, I really thought I was gonna find more of the lacy tank tops, because when I originally filmed this, I also didn't find really. I found one and I was like, that's a big deal. I just wanted to at least find one. And just, it's kind of the only tank top I'm finding. Okay, well, I can't do the layering that I was hoping. I'm not gonna go through the jeans just because when I originally filmed this, I did go through the jeans and I tried on different bootcut jeans, and it was just like a humiliation ritual, and the fact that then I couldn't even like use that footage hurts even more, because that was such a struggle to do in the thrift store. And honestly, like, you couldn't even see the jeans, so like I'm not looking for like a massive like transformation-ish. I just kind of want to see what the pieces look like on slightly, but I don't need to like fully commit in that way. I'm okay to pass it this time, but I am just going into the skirts. I do think mini skirts, like denim mini skirts, as in the Hollister collection that came out, they did mini skirts, so like low-rise mini skirts, honestly really cute. The Hollister collection actually has gotten me. My mind has changed. I think they did a good job, especially with sizing compared to back then. A large in Hollister from 2005 does not fit the same as a large in Hollister nowadays. Also, did all of you see the wildflower cases like being brought back? I think it's the 2015 or 2014 collection. I literally had that case. And so seeing that collection come out as well, I think we are in a very nostalgia time in fashion, which again, there's always been that within fashion, but I think especially right now, we are looking for that escape of better times, and we're doing it within fashion. In the wildflower cases photo shoot for the case collection, they're wearing the statement like chunky necklaces, and again, like now that 2009 fashion trend is trending, like it's coming. And I have been saying 2010s fashion is coming back for like literally 5 years, and I think it has been slowly, and now we're like getting to that point where it's like mainstream wise. I don't know if I'm gonna go into dresses. I may, just to see if they have any like baby doll style dresses that can be worn with jeans. Oh, it's a cute little pajama set. Sorry, getting distracted. Which blazers are right here. I think a corduroy or velvet blazer actually would be perfect, and I don't see one. But I do think blazers, especially on Pretty Little Liars, that's for sure, were so big, and like fitted blazers, not loose or oversized or anything like that. Oh, this is gorgeous. It's a pinstripe velvet J. Crew blazer, so cute. Aria would have worn this if it was a little bit more fitted though. Definitely more fitted. I'm just doing a quick pass in the men's jackets, but I have found Hollister, and it does have that like faux fuzzy hood, and then also American Eagle. I don't know when these were originally made, but it definitely has the vibe. One big mention is Uggs are like so core to this style, and they do, I don't know if these are all like actual like Uggs. They do have a lot. It's definitely more of the like tan Uggs, but I feel like any type of Ugg, if you like an Ugg, could work. Something like this. I personally don't like Uggs, so I'm okay, but I did want to mention that because that is another kind of key to the style. And Uggs kind of always trend, but the styles kind of go in and out. There was the really short Uggs that now people like hate and are like, no, the long Uggs are the way to go, and that's kind of part of this trend, is the long kind of like normal length Uggs with potentially skinny jeans tucked into them. I feel like this is a sign because we are literally thrifting Bella Swan outfits. This is basically the thrift store giving me a sign that I'm on the right track. Unfortunately, where I usually film the going through my cart portion at this thrift store, I can't film at because they rearranged the store and it's now in a more high traffic area. So I'm gonna try over here by the bathrooms and the dirty bicycles to try this stuff on. It's mainly like tops, so I feel like it shouldn't be too bad, but if I move around, that's why, because it's, you know, just what happens when you film a thrift with me. The first thing I want to try on is this cardigan, originally from Dress Barn. I think it is a little bit too loose to be part of the trend, but in my universe of 2009 fashion trends that I'm just making up, I feel like it would have worked. It kind of leans Aria. Like, I don't think it looks good, but I just really liked that button. And actually, I think this is more my style than a lot of the stuff I have in my cart. I'm still not obsessed with it, especially the material. It is quite like sweaty. Like I'm starting to like really sweat in it, and I've only had it on for 10 seconds. But the colors I'm very, very into. I think this has to be the best thing I found. Like, you can't tell me this is not part of it. It's so part of it. It looks so bad on top of what I'm wearing and like the cowl neck situation. I don't think Elena, actually I never watched Vampire Diaries, so I don't know why I'm even I'm trying to think if Elena Gilbert would wear this. I think this is a little bit too preppy for her, but part of the trend. Should I watch Vampire Diaries? Let me know. I think this is definitely something that Bella Swan and Elena Gilbert, based on photos that I've seen, would wear. With a little lacy cami poking out at the bottom. They'd probably wear something a little bit more fitted, like this sweater, but a little bit more fitted. I feel 2009 was very like fitted clothing and not really like loose, oversized. So this would be a little bit too loose for them, but the lace cami, yeah, I think that would hit it out of the park. And then with like one of the jackets, this is unfortunately shedding quite a lot to where trying to put this on and all the fuzzies definitely going into my eye. No, not today. But I do think it has that vibe of like a longer knit tunic, kind of similar to the blue one, just with like darker fall colors, a little bit more whimsical. Again, I'm definitely, you know, showing where like my bias of it is. This was a dark mauve or even like a muted green with that baby doll kind of tunic right there. Yeah, using our imagination. Little lacy top coming up right here and at the bottom. Yeah, even the color, I hate it so much, but I think totally part of the style. This one is so perfect. This is exactly what I was looking for. I'm even gonna put on one of the jackets because it's so perfect that I need to see what it looks like then with the jacket on top. The jacket is slightly too small, like my arms are like literally dying because of the layering, but I do think it is perfect for this. And then dark bootcut jeans, Uggs, or even like little Vans slip-on shoes, ballet flats. Are you hearing the being like illuminating this? No, because it's not fully it. It is in my mind. I am screaming, ho, ho, ho. You know that dark green and navy striped sweater like this that's from Brandy Melville that everyone and their moms has owned at some point or like thrifted at some point? I feel like this is just literally that, but the lighter version. And I think that is more would be part of this trend, even though it wasn't necessarily a trend in 2009. I just think the vibe does give that. Whereas this is just a little bit too light. It was just a little bit darker. But actually, I kind of like it. I kind of like the big stripes. I don't think it's still super me, but I think the big stripes, depending on the colors, don't give as much preppy as a lot of the smaller stripe sweaters do that I usually come across. Is this video making me kind of change my mind on some things? No, it's not, but I'm having fun. This jacket is giving a little bit too 2014, like our obsession with turquoise. I thought the like style of like jacket though does feel kind of part of this trend. If it was like a dark brown, kind of digging this actually. It's a little small. It is too small on me regardless, but actually I don't hate the color. This jacket is also not fitting me. It's a men's small, but it is by Hollister, and I don't know when it was originally made, but I'm sure the men's sizing was also very skewed smaller back then, so maybe that's why it's fitting so terribly on me. But this feels very in line with it, with the little shearling. I am so surprised. I haven't seen, at least as of now, not that I'm like on the Hollister website like going through every single thing that they have, but I'm surprised at least I haven't seen this sort of zip up sweater launching in this like nostalgic collection, because this feels very of that time. I know Abercrombie is also doing a vintage nostalgia collection, whatever. I haven't really looked at that one, so maybe they did it, but this is from Hollister. This little, it is really cute. It is kind of like, it is adorable with the zipper actually, and with the hood. This is more of a bomber style. I just kind of wanted to try it on because I thought it could work with the colors, but yeah, really not liking the fit either on this. I am definitely not a small in jackets. I am learning. This is too small in the armpits. Like my armpits are suffocating, but I had to try this on. Originally from Juicy Couture, and I feel these types of jackets are very like 2009 fall trend that is being pushed. I like literally take a like shot of espresso every time I said 2009 fall fashion trend. Actually, don't do that. Don't. This in a dark green. Little lacy cami. Yeah. I think I nailed it with everything I picked. Like, I think I did really good. Did I prove that you can thrift 2009 fall fashion trends? Absolutely. Obviously, sizing a preference is going to determine, and like the location and inventory and also brands. Like, do you want Hollister from 2009 and Abercrombie from 2009, or are you okay with something that's just like similar, that gives the vibe, that is secondhand? Like, I think it's doable. I do. I think this style is actually probably the most doable style I've seen to thrift out of all the like trends and aesthetics, especially from like the past, because it's so simple. It's just about like putting the pieces together. I could see like if you did buy something new, like a lacy cami, and then thrifted everything else, you kind of have like that base, and then that's kind of like the way that it brings it all together. I'm gonna put everything back. I'm not gonna buy anything. That was kind of the difficult part with this video, is I didn't want to buy a thrifted mystery box for it because I knew it wasn't my style and I would never wear those things again. And it's not a fun enough style that I have nostalgia for, like the same fashion. Like, I was excited to actually like own those pieces, and I have them in a box of other things that I've gotten for those types of videos, like the galaxy print leggings, the cow print dress, that type of thing. Whereas this, like, it just doesn't feel like me, and I don't have that like absolute love for it. So I wanted to try to find a way to do a video like this without having to buy something. And obviously in the past I would do it by being in the dressing room and like do the full head to toe look that I kind of can't do now because there's no dressing rooms. So hopefully it was still enjoyable. I'm gonna put everything back and then we'll talk about my final thoughts with this and 2009 fashion trends. Alrighty, I think that went really good. Actually way better than the original like time I filmed this thrift with me, with the audio like cutting out. And I know I mentioned like I did find stuff, but I do feel that here it was way more aligned. Like, I was finding more of the long sleeves that I feel fit this style. And honestly, both of them though, I think I did the original time I went thrifting, and this time I think I did find some pieces that would be considered in the style. So I do think you can thrift this, like I've already mentioned like a bunch of times. I did end up trying on 2 other things that weren't related to the style that I just wanted to show. I didn't end up getting either of them, although they were very cute. I wasn't obsessed enough to buy. Let me know your thoughts on the 2009 fall fashion trends resurgence happening right now. Are you loving it? Are you hating it? I am personally more in a Buffy, Phoebe Buffay, Charmed, even Lizzie McGuire type of style nostalgia of where I'm getting my inspiration, which is also, again, just interesting that it's like they're both still past styles, but just very different, and different people are gonna have different inspirations. So I do think some of it though, again, the like more baby doll tunic tops, I am gonna be filming a like styling outdated trends that I actually really love video that I am actually buying things for still secondhand, but one of the things are tunics. And with that, I like have searched for a tunic that was part of this style and trend, but more in my style that I'm going to continue to wear. So I feel a little bit better about like actually buying that, but that video will be coming, and I think some of it kind of can cross over within the style, which I started planning that video and the things I'm looking for before even like realizing 2009 was a trend for this fall. So I'm very excited about that. Make sure you're subscribed if you would like to see that video. Also follow me on Instagram, which is alexsunshine83. I will see you all in my next video. Bye!